The calm before the storm. With his army repelled, your former master awaits you in his palace.
We are victorious, but how long will this peace last?
The day already drags like an overloaded ox. Our enemies should be more efficient.
I do not shy from meaningful combat, but eliminating your boredom is not a worthwhile cause to fight for.
If there's no wine, there should be fighting. That's the way of things for a warrior.
I trust everyone has recovered from the battle.
We should not take much longer to lick our wounds, even if the victory was ours. No doubt the enemy awaits us.
Emperor Sun Li waits for us, growing in power. He is draining the water dragon far faster than Sun Hai ever managed. I will speak with each of you before we leave.
A good idea. It will allow for some adjustments to the marvelous dragonfly. The landing here was rough. I will ferry whom I can for an initial assault. Give me a few moments. We will leave at your command when my work is done.
Could we speak before we leave? I have concerns.
Alright, so at this point you can talk to every single person. Oh, before we get to that, what's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome back to the Jade Empire. In the last one, I am now going to get through this. Chapter 7. Wherein the cost of war is tallied, a master is finally confronted, and the fate of an empire is decided. You have come far. From Borderland School to the ruins of Dirge, and now the fate of the empire depends on the decisions before you. Stung by the loss of Death's Hand and defeat of his siege force, Emperor Sun Li readies for your inevitable confrontation in the palace. Anyway, in the last one, we defended Dirge. We did after 20 years what could not be done 20 years ago. We beat back the glorious strategist, freed the youngest brother, Sun Kin, from a life of slavery, and, drove our former master into a corner. Now his only respite is to become a god. What we also gained was a new gem. The Way of the Open Palm. Plus 10 to intuition, plus 5 to spirit, minus 5 to body. Only followers of the Way of the Open Palm may use this gem. Gee, I wonder why. Life brings many challenges, and one must learn to flow and adapt to them, to yield and be firm at the same time, to take the hardships life brings and turn them to one's benefit. Through the gentle palm, one changes the course of life gently, and with it, one's destiny. This is one of the best gems in the game, and you only get it, I believe, after your confrontation with Death's Hand. I don't think you can get it a moment sooner. Now, we'll go ahead and remove one of these because we don't need to worry about that and put that one on. We also gained a level up. Odd, we should have hit the level cap at some point here. Well, it doesn't matter. 23 style points to spend. Okay, we have a couple more to spend. What can we spend them on? We actually don't have a whole lot else we can really upgrade now I think about it. We have Fortune's Favorite. So if we want to, yeah, we can go ahead and increase it. Well, I was fighting with a gimped Fortune's Favorite. I usually have that maxed out by now. Like, I'm not kidding. I usually have Fortune's Favorite maxed out by now. We can't do a speed increase, but we can do a... We'll go ahead and upgrade that just in case. But, yeah, not bad. Now, I'm curious, did I actually learn that stuff, or... No, I think that went... Yeah, I think that actually went to Dawnstar in them. Huh. Odd. Doesn't really change anything. So let's go ahead and... Well, first things first, I'm going to hop a save real fast. And we're going to go ahead and talk to everybody, see what... what they're feeling, what's going on at the moment. Let's start off with Sky, since he had a lot going on in that last fight. We learned that the Lost Assassins approached him. That's why he limped back. He would have died otherwise. They approached him, offered him a deal, and he said no.
We are a long way from the farm I once called home. I never thought I would make such a journey. Your master is a formidable opponent. We cannot leave the Empire in his hands.
Some of these decisions have been hard to make.
I will help you carry that weight, but I'm not sure how much use I can be. I will stand by you. Once the corruption is excised, the Jade Empire will be a blank slate, my friend.
Ready yourself. Well, I will destroy anything in my way. Nah, I don't need to go that aggressive. Ready yourself. You'll be leaving soon.
I will be ready. Rely on it.
Let's talk to... Well, not King. Let's go talk to Black Rogue and see what's going on in his mind.
The boredom was always greatest before the storm. Could we poke a stick in the eye of this little squall and get moving?
Easy, friend. The battle will come soon enough. Ready yourself.
I always have my fists, so I'm always ready. If I lose those, I'll have bigger problems than missing a fight. Actually, better safe than sorry. Kang, make me a wine bowl I can hold with stumps.
Yours or someone else's?
Ha ha! Now that's the kind of idea I can get behind.
Let's go talk to... Let's talk to Hin Tech Ho.
I tell you, I begin to miss the melodious voice of my wife. So peaceful compared to what follows you around. I look forward to the day when we can return to our simpler lives, although I doubt that will be easy for everyone.
I know what you mean. Hopefully we can all find our way home again.
Oh, it will be easy for me. I just cock an ear to the wind and listen. Eventually the shouts of my wife will make their way to me. I hope everyone has so clear a path, and a more peaceful arrival.
Okay, so, Wildflower, what you got?
Hello again. Do you want to talk to me or the Guardian?
I want to talk to you. How are you, Wildflower?
I'm better now, thanks to you. You put the other back down in a place where he can't hurt me anymore. You've done as much for me as the Guardian, and I'll never forget it, no matter what. If things here, if they turn out well, I hope someday when I'm older, we could meet and be friends again. I know that to stand by you, it won't be me. It'll be the Guardian, but my hopes go with him.
What do you feel in this place, Wildflower?
This place is old. So old. There are voices in the stones, each one trying to command the others. But none of them listen. It's like they can't listen, they just can't. Their own voices is all they're left with. So long. Only hearing the sound of your own voice.
Who are they?
I don't know. They never say, they just shout.
Wo yowir apafwe ir sir sisitsu towir ok pir okir ifwir wo.
The dead have gathered here as in other places of the Empire. The attack on Dirge left them without guidance. They are attracted to any beacon of power.
Kup thir son puno su oku ir sir sisitsu towir ok.
Here they are overwhelmed by the power the Emperor stole. Only whispers of their spirits remain, but Wildflower is sensitive to such things. Can we do anything for them?
Kukawuk takti yir. Wo panir nisa ir pan.
No. No. There's nothing that can be done except for restoring the shepherd that would guide them to rebirth, i.e., restoring the water dragon.
Acho ikakir wo ifuro ukfuir wo.
Those that are already dead cannot be helped. We must concentrate on the living. What do you think about what has happened here, Chaika?
Acho ikakir wo ifuro ukfuir wo.
You lead as you must. I will serve the will of the heavens and follow in your steps. Do you have any wisdom to share about the coming fight, Chaika?
Narawa ir kwanok noka o piir okir ifuir wo.
I do not. You have suffered enough interference from my kind and many others.
Sisa ir furk newa ko kipstir sunuk.
You would be better served listening to the wisdom of the child within. Do what you must, but be happy. Be ready. We'll be leaving soon.
The Guardian says he'll be at your side when you need him.
Alright, so, let's talk to Soap Fox.
I have seen everything that I believe in torn apart, one after another. Hopefully it is all over soon. The sins of my family must be dealt with. Only then can the Empire regain the glory it has lost.
I have made some difficult decisions to get here.
There will be more. Don't let the weight of your choices cloud your vision. I will be there watching what you do. I trust that you will make the right choices for the Empire and its people. I won't let either be abused again.
Everyone will respect the power I bring. Nah, that sounds a little... honestly, this one sounds a little too tumultuous. Be ready. I will signal when we will leave.
I will be ready. Don't worry.
And now, Dawnstar.
So many changes. The Jade Empire is not the place I once thought it was. You didn't say how Master Li reacted to the news that I am his daughter, but your silence on the subject says much by itself. He didn't believe you.
Do not dwell on it. He is lost to us.
I don't want to believe that yet. There is always hope. There has to be, even with all of the hard decisions we have had to make to get here. What Master Li has done is unforgivable. We have to set things right and undo the evil he has put in motion.
Will there still be time for us after all this is done?
I have no doubt that there will be. When everything is restored to the way it was, we will be able to return to the lives we lost. It won't be perfect, I know, but I even miss the simple heartache of mortal sorrow. Our time among the gods has forced greater worries upon us. Will there be time for us? More than anything, I hope so.
Everything will be right again. This madness will be undone.
Your resolve is inspiring. The Master Li I thought I knew would be proud. The man we now face should be worried.
Some of these decisions have been hard to make.
I know, and perhaps the greatest and hardest of those is yet to come. So much is on your shoulders. When the time comes, we will reveal what evils have been done in the name of power. We will make certain this cannot happen again. You and I.
Ready yourself. We'll be leaving soon.
I know everything will be fine. You will see to it.
Alright. Now let's talk to Kang. Or Lord Lao.
Hello. I suppose the marvelous dragonfly is ready. We don't have to worry about landing too many more times. Just make sure you are done talking to everyone. I lost the interior baffling, so you won't be able to hear a thing once we are in the air.
Well, I want to speak with you.
Oh, no, I tend to confuse things. Yes, I know I do. This is too important for my mutterings. Besides, the decisions that are coming, they are beyond me. You are deciding the fate of an empire. My mistakes result in the occasional crater. How big a hole might you be digging?
Well, I'm ready to go. Call everyone to the flyer.
Oh, I think they know you are ready. Every eye is on you. Across the whole empire, I think. We'll have to see if you are worthy of that gaze, All right, everyone in.
Your last visit to the palace was a violent one. This time your enemy is more powerful, but so are you. And with that, we begin our final assault and the endgame. Oh, sweet goodness, do we still have a lot to do. Things got crazy, didn't it? And Master Lee did not care that his daughter was Dawnstar.
Well, here we are. I'd hoped I wouldn't have to use this entrance again. I doubt this visit will be any less violent than the last.
Keep your guard up. This won't be as easy as last time.
Ha! You thought that the last visit was easy. This should be more fun than even I could have hoped for.
Yeah, I'm staying here. For safety.
A startling revelation from Kang.
I expect there will already be enough chaos to go around without your talents.
The road will be divided. There is a powerful presence stirring, and her will must be obeyed. Her will? Is it the water dragon spirit? There will be no interference, but there will be no guidance. Oh, my bad. There will be no interference, but there will be guidance. There is something you must see.
Trust her voice. We need a path through Master Lee's corruption.
Trust what you see. Voices can come from anywhere.
Whatever we are doing, we have to do it now.
Don't worry, I'll make sure there are no surprises this time.
This is going to be a mess. I know it is.
And here we go. Right into the endgame. We're going to bring Dawnstar with us this time because, well, it is her father we're confronting this time. Last time we brought Leanne because it was her father. No guards? I'm insulted. Now, Dawnstar, you don't need to be in the corner there. Now, this is more like it. Because what Dawnstar does is she regenerates our chi, but we won't need to worry about that too much right now. There you go. Ooh, that lag. There we go. But yeah, no, we don't have to worry about too much. It's just basically going through the motions again, but we will be taking a different path. This time, Sun Lee will be ready for us, and we need to find the water dragon's body and, kill her body so that her spirit may be reborn and she can continue to fulfill her role. But my question is, what happens to her at that point? Does she retain the memories? I know she's a heavenly being, but what does that actually mean? I don't think that's ever been explored, as far as this is concerned. And here we go. Yeah, eat my blade. I'm doing all that damage, and I'm not even losing that much focus. Like, look at this. Look at this. I'm ridiculous. There we go. Aha. No guarding for you. There you go. Ah, yeah. Taste my Wolverine. No, that's even more. It's more like Tiger, but still. Dang, Dawnstar got a mean right hook. And her weapon is back to the way it was. Here we go. Come on. Getting smarter. They're learning the block. There we go. Superior Warrior Gem. I should probably change this over to 1,000 cuts. There we go. And I don't think these urns were here, or if they were, I think they reloaded. Trap sprung. Well, that was unfortunate. But we also have this in the back, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, no, I remember when I first got to this point, and I got to the revelations that came through, and realizing who Dawnstar was and all that. I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, they went above and beyond with the tropes here, didn't they? Huh. Trap was still strong, even though my focus was high. 5,000 silver. We have no need for this money right now. Because we can't go back. I mean, we just can't. Can't go back and buy stuff we want to use, but yeah, it is what it is.
You have come. Destiny set this moment in motion, but from here, your choices are your own to make. Your master awaits you, but he is not yet aware. You have time to alter things to your favor. You have time to set us all on the path to rebirth. Learn what has come before, and you will understand what must be done now. Follow into the depths and see what was done in search of my power.
Spirits know many things, but how to assault a fortress does not appear to be one of them. Follow her and take someone with you, but whoever you leave behind should take another route. That way they don't get behind you and we'll all get equal fighting.
You don't know the palace. You will wander aimlessly.
I always wander aimlessly, and I always find my way. Besides, we've been here before.
Very well. Everyone meet near the throne room.
Fighting in the heart of the palace. I never thought I would visit, and now I'm storming its walls for the second time.
It is not a task I wanted, but we have no choice.
Our journey lies elsewhere. Your choices will dictate the fate of the Empire. Choose your actions wisely and keep the consequences in mind.
The tombs of the greatest emperors. Here the Empire was built, and here the heart of it is laid to rest. Now that heart is torn out, like another to come. It was gutted to allow the flow, to guide the water that pours from a crime against the heavens and the order of all things.
Such disrespect! This was done after Master Li ran from the Emperor, but he must have known it would be needed.
What hope is there for the future when the past is cast so roughly aside?
They have long, like, why was this done? Where does this water flow from?
Emperor Sun would not accept that his empire had to fade so that something new would bloom. He declared war as if the drought was an advancing army. He and the glorious strategist focused on me, the water dragon. I symbolized the fading they wanted to avoid and the regrowth they desperately needed. I became the answer to everything. Press further, and you will see the source of the lush new empire under the brothers' sun. You must see it with your own eyes to comprehend what they have done.
So apparently, the plan was to starve the Empire so something new could form. But their brother's son didn't want that to happen. And here we are, the greatest sin.
This cannot be. How can this be allowed? What have they done to this creature?
Behold, words would not have sufficed. You had to see with your own eyes to truly know my fate. This cannot continue. Fight them. Show them that such things will not go unpunished.
They ripped her open and left her to bleed water, just so their own little empire would not fade. I cannot even begin to imagine what that would feel like, because she's still alive. She's somewhere between life and death. So I think she feels this. She knows exactly what's going on with her. And that's... Oh boy, when I first got to this point and it finally ran home exactly what it was that happened to the water dragon, I'm like, wow, they were that desperate, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna hit a lot of wind here. Okay, focus spirit. No, you're not gonna focus spirit me. Yep. You're not gonna win me like that. So yeah, when I got to this part and I saw that, I'm like, this is what happened to the water dragon? Are you for real? So not only are we essentially ending her body, we're essentially giving her a mercy killing. Should we decide to go through with her request. And I don't see why you wouldn't at this point. You see this and you're like, oh my goodness. And at this point, yeah, she has a right to be angry with people.
This is what he has done. This is what your Master Li allowed. For 20 years, my body has bled, separate from the spirit, feeding the Empire and the Emperor. It is an agony that you cannot fathom. To have fallen so far into the hands of men, rebirth is impossible while this continues.
By all the heavens.
This is not right. Gods do not bleed.
Forgive us, great dragon. Our mortal kin are ignorant, foolish, unkind. These crimes will not go unanswered.
I have never seen such a crime against the proper order of things.
Every freedom I cherish is violated by this.
It is the saddest violation of a gentle creature. When the markers fall, what then?
You small creatures, you heard the sounds of battle, but are you truly prepared? What will become of your world if my kind fall to the same evils that plague you? Your Master Li must be stopped. The Empire must find balance without the flow of heart water he has unleashed.
This water feeds the Empire? This was why the drought ended?
Water flows from the wound that will not heal in the body that cannot die. Part of me functions as an aspect of our world, elemental in nature. It was never meant to flow free. It is not infinite. The Jade Empire is green, but somewhere another land goes thirsty. All things are linked.
Nothing was solved. The problem was merely pushed onto someone else's plate.
Your spirit seems strong. Can't you help yourself?
I help myself by showing you what has been done in the name of power. Mortals were corrupted beyond care for their fellows, or even for their own brothers.
She wants you to be disgusted by Master Li. You can make sure this never happens again.
You blame Master Li. Didn't Emperor Sun place you here?
The reign of Emperor Sun saw my abuse, but Sun Li, the glorious strategist, laid the plans. One could not occur without the other. It was never his intent to let Brother Hai rule. Had his plan initially succeeded, your master would be emperor, and you would have been destroyed with the others of your kind.
He planned it all from the start. His betrayal goes back to the very beginning.
What do you think I can do about this?
You are a spirit monk, charged with guarding the order of things. You were not born to this role, but as the last, a solemn duty falls at your feet. I cannot be healed. My body has been cut open, my heart removed. I should rejoin the Great Wheel, but I am defiled and cannot rest. Rebirth can only come when my essence is free. To defeat your master, you must stop the power he draws from me. Soon he will be too strong, even for you.
Emperor Sun had your power for 20 years, and I destroyed him.
Emperor Sun did not have the amulet. He had to draw my essence slowly, or it would overwhelm him. Even so, it took a horrible toll on his body. Your master does not have to be so cautious. The amulet is not a source of power, but it is a focus. He partakes of energy that mortals were never meant to hold. He laps at it greedily, expecting your return. You must destroy the source of that power. You must destroy my body. When he falls, all that is mine will then rejoin my spirit. Rebirth.
Then that is what I will do. There is no doubt in my mind.
There is no other decision to make. This desecration, we must undo it.
A good step toward rectifying this desecration.
There was no other reasonable response to such an abomination.
Then let it be so. Take hold of a blade, spirit monk, and let it strike true. Destroy the machine that maintains this abomination. The great wheel must turn.
It's time.
We must go face Master Li in the throne room.
The open palm. We get another open palm gem. Are you for serious? Plus 10 the spirit, plus 5 the mind. Only follows the way of the open palm that used the gem. Nah, you think? In accordance with one's own spirit, in the way of the heavens, the open palm is at peace with nature. This ultimate harmony gives mastery over oneself and attunement with the flow of fate. You get this if you release the spirit. I don't think we'll need the Gems of Frost Scholar anymore. So yeah. Let's check our alignments. Man, is that bright. But yes, if you had chosen to pick, could I use this power for myself, you would have then sapped the power of the water dragon and she would suffer still. But with this, the water starts flowing, her body dies. You destroyed the life support system, so now all I have to do is to free what power Master Li has left, or better yet, what power Son Li has left. Scintillating Gem of Power. This is a new one. What is this? Ooh. Now let's read it. When one is at peace, one can achieve a form of transcendence. The goal of every true master and every true scholar is to surpass the physical form and unite one with one's own spirit. In that moment of transcendence, all limits fall away, and the person can perform at levels never thought possible. And here we have it. Got a even better Gem of Balance. So I believe, that was the water dragon right there. That's her body. Ripped open and left to bleed for 20 years. And I had the distinct impression that she felt every agonizing moment of her lifeblood pouring out and her body ripped open. Now we can no longer pick people to come with us.
I will live to be as old as the Empire itself, and I will never be able to remove that sight from my mind.
I will treasure this moment for as long as I live. To have a hand in such a creature's destiny, it is an honor.
This was nearly overwhelming. My eyes were not meant to see such things.
It was the only choice that will restore balance and order. If nothing ends, there are no more beginnings. The greater abomination is yet to come. Yeah, the greater abomination is yet to come.
Yes, your master. He made this possible. I don't know how much help I will be against him.
We have to try. I can't leave here knowing I didn't try.
We will try. There is nothing else we can do.
I will be here for this final confrontation, but I do not know how much help I will be.
There are others here who may wish to express a preference in this matter.
No one is safe if this continues. Hold them while Dawnstar and I confront Li.
I will try. I have to.
And here we are, back in the throne room. No gauntlets, no nothing. Just you and Master Li. But first, let's see what little trinkets we can find. Gem of Unyielding Strength. Plus 10 the body, minus 5 the mind, minus 5 the spirit. This gem makes this wielder capable of great physical feats that are normally only possible with years of training. The sudden improvement to the user's physical abilities disrupts inner balance, however, and so the gem also siphons essence from this wielder's spiritual and mental capabilities, weakening those aspects to fuel the wearer's unyielding body. Now we have, I believe at this point we have one gem for each of the 3 skills, right? Nope, just one for mind and spirit. I don't know where the scholar one was. Yeah, I guess the game said, nah, don't need it. But yeah, we're back here. And I wonder if this is where they could see the burning of dirt from. Heaven mantra. Ooh, another skill. Just keep giving it to us, huh? Plus than the chi. This meditative technique was once the exclusive possession of the Spirit Monk Order. They taught their monks its secret, giving them uncompromising power over spirits and lesser creatures through their arts. This meditation, performed daily, focuses the spirit and unlocks hidden potential within an individual. Are there any more? Because there are going to be, I'm sure there are a couple of more. Interrupt my flow, why don't you? There he is, the man of the hour. Hello, Sun Li.
Ah, there you are. I knew you would come, and I have grown very good at waiting. You are very different from the student I once taught. Death changed you, I imagine. I apologize for that indignity, but it was necessary. It was also meant to be the end of you, but you surprised me again. I should have studied your people before wiping them out.
Should I try to appeal to him as a daughter? I don't know if he is truly beyond caring or not.
Do it. You may as well try.
I did my best with what I understood at the time. I trained you with a weakness. You would succeed, but be vulnerable. I thought I anticipated everything.
Master Li, Sun Li, please hear me. Don't do this. I know you are not as heartless as you appear. You couldn't be. Not and still be my father.
Once more you try to restore me. My lost family was just one more tool. If they had ever meant more than that, I would have been present when they fell. That it was you, Dawnstar, only reinforces this. I would have recognized you if I had cared to. What use are heirs to a god?
I'm not sure what I expected my father to be, but I remember a time when I hoped he was someone like you. Not anymore.
She deserves better. I can't allow this.
I killed hundreds of your kind, thousands, just for the chance to become a god. I can't let you live, now that I am one. I am more than Sunhai ever was. I will undo the damage of his ignorance, force the dead to their rest, and keep the waters flowing. My empire will be ordered, obedient, and neither ghosts nor gods will plague it. And you are all that stands between me and the new peace. My brother summoned underlings to defeat you. I will create them from the very stone.
And now we have to deal with constructs. The only difference here is that, well, they're just made of stone. It's the exact same fight that we've already dealt with multiple times. I believe they are immune to Chi Thief because, well, they're made of stone. Ironically, I think they have to go down much easier. I think they go down much easier than their flesh and blood counterparts. Okay, this is gonna take a little bit of training, not a little bit of time, not gonna lie. I would focus on the elephant constructs personally, just because they hit harder than the I don't even know what to call that demon because you don't learn the style of it. It is just the minion of despair. Which, why the heck he's inside his why the heck this demon would be inside the throne room, I have no idea. But luckily, they only shock, they don't do that much damage. The real danger of the minions comes from their ranged attacks. That's pretty much it. But leave it to leave it to Sun Li. He's like, you know what, my brother got minions to beat you. I'm just gonna make them from stone. Now, I do not believe, and yeah, that last appeal to his conscience was ultimately futile. He doesn't care one way or the other.
It's almost over. I don't think there's anything left in the Empire for us to battle through.
Well, that's good, because I'm getting tired of this. Yep, don't see anything. Okay, let's go.
An impressive display. Your star shines bright, but it is still trapped within a mortal body. Perhaps a more direct application of my power will show you what you are up against. And just how restrictive your shell truly is. Yes, this will amuse me. Worse than actually dying. Seeing death come and being unable to stop it.
Doubt can cripple even the most powerful warrior. Oh boy, yeah, Sun Li is pulling out all of the stops to try to take you down.
Physical barriers are no match for those we place in our own minds. My power has encased you in doubt, held you with the weight of your burden.
You try to paralyze my resolve. My will is stronger than that.
You and your followers are playthings. The rest are held just as you are. You are each too weak to match my power.
You are not alone. We are also in prison, but if we do not resist in our own minds, we can lend our strength to you. Oh, but yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Yes, well said.
Guide your minds to me. I am the one that must face Sun Li. Or better yet, Li traps us in our own bodies. Add your strength to mine. Allies have no greater strength than in your own heart. I will be the conduit. I will show them the way. Doubt.
Legendary strike.
Okay. And they are, and I think if you notice, one look like Death's Head. I think each of the constructs are meant to look like, at the emperors. Sun Li, Death's Hand, Sun Ken, and I think Sun Hai. Unless it's just meant to be Sun Li and then Death's Hand, excuse me. Aha! I still have the power of my gems. Quick one. I'll give him that. He's a quick one. And he has the sword. Yeah, he has his sword.
Amusing but pointless. My talons are deep within you. More fools leap to your defense, but no matter. The weight of my power will crush you soon enough.
You know nothing of loyalty. That is your weakness.
I am with you. We haven't come this far to fail now.
We cannot let this stand, not when so much is at stake.
I stand with you. We will not fall just yet.
Yeah, my bad. These are all incarnations of Lee. From his younger days, to Death's Hand, to his role as the new Emperor, to his former role as your teacher. If you notice, the construct we're fighting has slightly darker hair, and if you looked at the other constructs that were beaten, the one where he is, Emperor Lee for all intents and purposes, has lighter hair. Just like that.
Your efforts are meaningless. Do you think to counter my influence by yourself? A god holds you. Nothing in the mortal realm can help you. Nothing.
I have moved with you, hidden, trying to keep focus. I give you all that I am, all that I was. Restore what has been corrupted.
If nothing in the mortal realm could hold us, it is ironically a good thing that our good old friend Zu was not of the mortal realm. He was able to get us out of there. How about that for your glorious strategy, God Emperor Sun Li?
Once again, I misunderstand. The raw energy, you are far too resistant to it. The loyalty you inspire is also tiresome, but I respect it. You have truly become a spirit monk. In another time, I would be proud of your ability.
You were a great teacher. Your skill was wasted on evil ambition.
I am not satisfied with helping others surpass me. I quickly tired of elevating my brother, and I will not learn to serve you. I see now that the Water Dragon's power is the prize, not the means to victory. No matter what I expend, while you live, you will resist. That is your role. It is the celestial bureaucracy attempting to restore balance. We must bring the fight back down to earth, unless you are made to see reason.
There can be no deals. Let's end this. Master versus student.
No great waves of energy, no demons from the walls. Skill versus skill. Master versus student, as you said. I expect you have corrected the flaw in your style. No matter. Beyond the basics, I also taught you focus. Match me if you can.
And this is it. The last fight. 1-on-1. What Master Lee's gimmick, what his trick is, every now and then he will use his focus to freeze you. What you must do in that moment is use your own focus to counter him. This is actually probably the fairest fight you're ever going to get. I'm being 100% with you. With Sun High, he had his own gimmicks. Ooh, that's interesting. He has another gimmick where he will drain your focus, chi, and health whenever he does what looks to be dire dire flame. But that's not what it is. It's a much stronger thing. But once again, Master Lee is probably the fairest fight you're ever going to get. I'm being 100% with you. He's probably the fairest fight you're going to get in the entire game. He's a decent challenge, and he uses focus unlike everybody else. He also knows Chi, because remember, he taught that. Oh, not Spirit, not Chi Thief, but Spirit Thief. Remember, he taught that to Hui. But you can also use it on him. So you have a way to restore your health. As far as fights go, this is a great fight. As long as you're on your game, as long as you're keeping your focus, you should be able to best him no problem. Now the only problem comes is that I'm running out of chi. I'm actually running out of focus. Ooh, he got me. He put on a flame shield I didn't predict. I'll cut right back to this. And here we are again. So I believe what you can do to restore your focus for when you need it, because I forget how long his focus actually lasts. I forget how long it actually lasts. I want to say it lasts just long enough for him to do some serious damage to you. But otherwise, it shouldn't be too big a deal. Make sure to make expert use of your strongest skills and styles. Make sure you make use of everything you've learned up to this point, including your chi damage. And I like how the music in the background is the main Jade Empire theme. Okay.
This is the end.
It's suitably epic. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not even gonna try to act like it's not.
Long sword.
I see it going. It's going much better this time around. Get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. I'm gonna die, get me out of here. Okay.
Long sword.
I need Chi Thief for this, because man, oh man, did he do some serious damage to me.
Spirit Thief.
Oh, he got a hit in. Right at the end too. Man, I got too cocky. Be right back.
Legendary strike. Long sword.
Alright, here we are, back again. Let's use some chi damage. Do some proper damage to him. Get some work in. Come on, Lee. Ooh, that's going much better. Got his flame shield on. Should be glad it's only temporary. There we go. Just be wary of him doing his AoE attacks, because that's how he gets you. Put on your flame shield, huh? Alright, that's fine.
You surprise me yet again. I'm a better teacher than I thought.
And like that, our journey comes to an end. And we get some epilogues detailing what happens to each of the characters we traveled with after the story ends. Dawnstar. The defeat of Sun Li signaled a new beginning for the Jade Empire, and for the lives of Zen Cipher and Dawnstar. Despite their victory, Dawnstar was conflicted. The father she never knew had been her mentor all along, but he had also never truly existed, his caring nature just a lie to hide darker intentions. It was difficult to put that aside, but the stability of her relationship with Zen Cipher let her see that such dishonesty was the exception, not the rule. In the years that followed, they worked together to make their homeland a better place. They lived long and well, and all the Jade Empire remembers their names. Silk Fox. Though the credibility of her family was understandably marred by the actions of her father and uncle, Princess Sun Lian emerged from the incident with a newfound credibility that easily secured her claim to the throne. This was thanks in no small part to keeping Zen Cipher very close at hand and make sure the people knew that he had her full support throughout the ordeal. Empress Sun Lian ruled over a new golden age of the Jade Empire that seemed like it would never end. Sky. Drastic shifts in power always create political and economic turbulence. In the years following the defeat of Emperor Sun Li, however, in the years following the defeat of Emperor Sun Li, however, things were remarkably calm, with food supplies reaching the poor and imperial control of areas abandoned to near lawlessness quickly restored. Those who were there credit the smooth transition to the aid of a group called the Guild. Working under some mysterious imperial sanction, the Guild's agents moved supplies Working under some mysterious imperial sanction, the Guild's agents moved supplies quickly to those who needed them most and helped the Imperial Army pinpoint the camps of bandit leaders and others who threatened Imperial control. While the Guild faded from sight as peace was restored, stories persisted. Most stories recounted the exploits of this mysterious organization's dashing new leader, Sky. His ready smile, endless energy, and kindness quickly made him a legend among the common people. Henpecked Ho. Henpecked Ho's wife finally tracked him down and brought him back home to settle back into the simple bun master's life. A few years later, he became a father for the first time. Though having septuplets at his age was not unheard of, having 7 daughters at once was a bit peculiar. Shortly thereafter, Ho became deadly ill after accidentally eating a bun he intended to give to his wife. Ho's wife invited her entire family to live with them while he was bedridden. Ho recovered more quickly than expected, but word of his poisonous bun made sure that his career as a bun master was over. Instead, Ho became a delivery man, delivering packages throughout the empire. He has yet to return from his first delivery. Oh, Ho, you can never get any rest. Wildflower. The will of the heavens was fulfilled. The heart of the water dragon was restored, and her soul reborn. Balance returned to the heavens, and the Jade Empire endured. His duty discharged, Chai Ka, the Heavenly Gate Guardian, returned to his heaven once more. In honor of her service to the heavens, the girl, Wildflower, whom Chai Ka had raised to serve as his anchor, was granted the most precious gift of all, life. She was given a chance to live a new life according to her own whim. Kang! Revealing Kang the Mad as Lord Lao could have had a great effect on the Empire, but after the victory over Sun Li, Kang remained much as he was. He continued to build wonders for Zen Cipher, and he was still criticized for the chaos his machines created. But angry moths have no string when you are a minor deity. At first, Lord Lao found this liberating, and his inventions reached new heights of destructive potential. But after a time, he realized that his pursuers had been the driving force behind him. Nothing stirs the imagination like having your life depend upon your next creation. Few understood his motives when he began actively arming his most vocal detractors, but he insisted, standing amongst the creators, that it was for the good of all. Black Whirlwind. The Black Whirlwind accepted a job hunting demons for celestial bureaucracy. But the ensuing red tape frustrated him so much that he gave up and made for the mysterious East. Shortly thereafter, the Empire received a great influx of Outlanders, many of whom were missing limbs and other body parts. He returned to the Jade Empire several years later, but this time he came from the West. He couldn't explain how he did it, but he was the only person unsurprised to arrive back where he started. Expressing a newfound hatred for a people who couldn't make a decent bowl of wine, the Black Rowan vowed to never again leave the Jade Empire. A week later, he got bored and headed off to the north. Sir Roderick. Sir Roderick Ponce von Vontelbottom, the magnificent bastard, left the Jade Empire a broken man. His skills had failed him at the moment of greatest import, and he found it difficult to stomach his defeat, despite his grand capacity. Surely he had not lost as badly as he thought. Surely there was some explanation. Surely he still had something to teach his barbaric land. After much soul-searching, he traded his last pair of pantaloons for passage to the prosperous East, and he began a long journey home. My bad. Let me retry that one. After much soul-searching, he traded his last pair of pantaloons for passage to the prosperous East, and he began the long journey home. It is said he eventually discovered the Fountain of Kuth, and is now virtually inflammable. That he was accidentally killed by the Black Whirlwind. It is hard to say. People seem to lose interest. As for Percival, he tired of being called Shirley and returned to his village. And just like that, the Jade Empire comes to an end. Our time with the game was long and interesting. It was, I said before and I'll say it again. Jade Empire is one of those games that come, I used to say once in a generation, and I said about Sudeki too, but I want to admit that. It comes once in a generation of developers, when an idea and a craving to do something different gives rise to something new. Jade Empire, much like many of the games I have played, I think is an underrated gem of the Xbox console era. And I would love to see a sequel to this game made. I would love to see them, if I were ever picked up again, see them do the transitional storytelling they did with Mass Effect, where your choices carried over. I would love to see another attempt at this game. Give you a few more characters to fight alongside you in the battles. Make their health bars not so flimsy. Give you the ability to level them up. And so you can have one fight with you, one support, but maybe nerf what each one does, so that way you have to decide you want 2 supporters, 2 fighters, or one of each. Another thing about this, if I cannot get a sequel, I would love a remake. I would love to see them touch up the graphics, really go all in, maybe expand the story out a bit, introduce some characters earlier, maybe cut down the number of styles you have, or make them more effective, make it more meaningful, make it easier and more to your advantage to swap styles between combat. Because as you saw near the end there, I pretty much used 1 to 2 styles throughout the entire game. That was not the case when I first played this game. When I first played it, I was using more than 1 style. I was going back and forth. I was making sure I was leveling them a little more easily. But when I got to the end of my second playthrough, I realized I was going to just level 1 whole style up at once. And I saw how powerful that could get. I just kind of stuck with that, you know? So I think it would be interesting to see that, as you have like maybe a rock, paper, scissors thing. Like the legendary strike is good against the white demon, but the white demon is better against Thousand Cuts or something like that. You know, have a rock, paper, scissors style going on, so that you're more use the skills that
was exciting. Are you certain we are not needed elsewhere? No? Oh, I see. Well, I suppose there's nothing left to do but to go home.
Eternally misstepping hoe. Where have you been? Do you have any idea how long I have waited for you to come back from your errand? I'll only be gone for a minute. That's what you said. Now I find you've been gallivanting across the Empire with some band of misfits and women. It's like my sister said about you. That man is gonna run off on you, she said. He'll be unfaithful at the drop of a bun. And you know how often he does that? You left me with how many orders? Too many.
Yes, dear.
And only your worthless cousin to help. The man doesn't know a bun from a road apple. A hard lesson, but I taught him. Remember the 6 batches of buns we had to throw away? They tasted the same, but no one wanted your twisted creations. Bendy buns make people uncomfortable.
Yes, dear.
I should know. I have to hear the comments while you're off doing who knows what at the ends of the Empire. Just who are those people I saw you with? A bunch of fighters, drunks, slumming nobles, and charlatan mystics. Oh, you always find the worst sort of rabble.
Wow. Ho's wife is terrible. I hope I never find someone like that, because I don't think I could stand it. But yeah, I would like to see a game like this attempted again.
Why do you keep running around like this? You're not the lord of the arena anymore. You are Ho, Bunmaster, and husband. Is that not enough?
Yes, dear.
I should have known you wouldn't be happy with a simple life. But you know you would be dead if you kept up your old ways. I saved you, and this is the thanks I get. Those friends of yours weren't going to save you. They were more concerned about glory in battle. Oh, sure, they went on to rule whole kingdoms, but are they happy?
Yes, dear.
Just like my sister always said, give a man an inch and he'll be gone for months. I should talk to her more. In fact, she'll be staying with us for the season. And my mother. Oh, that'll straighten you out. If there's one man in the Empire that needs it, it's you.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God, Ho, you... I honestly wonder if I should just let them die.
Hi, hello. I'm Dawn Star, and I play the childhood friend.
Hi, I'm Sagacious Zoo, and I play the part of the conflicted anti-hero.
I saw Jade Empire as a chance to branch out into more legitimate acting. I get a lot of comments about what I used to do on stage, but you do what you have to when you're starting out.
We all got along well enough. I had no trouble with anyone. We're not friends, mind you. I mean, it was just business. You have to be a professional no matter how much Sky bugs you. Did I just say that? What was the most difficult? Reloads. Piecing those golems back together isn't easy. To say nothing of getting the blood out of your robes. We had a disappearing dye that helped, but it just doesn't hit the wall right, you know?
Well, the writers at BioWare didn't know my early work, which is odd, since I thought you could find anything on that interweb thing.
Sometimes the competition got on my nerves, you know? I mean, here I am, clearly a badass loner with a dangerous past. And what happens? I'll tell you. Someone discovers drunken style and spends the rest of the game with that chucklehead Ho throwing booze at his head.
I auditioned with some dramatic scenes they would be more, familiar with.
There are 4 lights!
My favorite player model? Radiant Gen Z. She just looks interesting, you know? Plucky. Of course, some smartass would ruin it by changing her name during testing. I guess they used up all the good ones in the actual game. Creamy nougat? What the hell is that?
It was a nice change from my old job. I used to have solid bits that really packed the crowds in, but I was overexposed. I got tired of the late nights, the second bananas. I lost count of the straight men I burned out.
I'm classically trained, you know, not just in the martial arts. Yeah, I got a few projects lined up. Art house stuff, so I don't get typecast in the Loner Enforcer role. But, check me out in Loner Enforcer 9, The Bloodening. The best of the series. I don't want to leave my fans behind.
I didn't want to end up like my uncle Maximilian Shecky Star. He could really work the shtick, but no one wants to see a vaudeville review these days, even if it is the oldest profession in theater. I said I did vaudeville, right?
I see Jade Empire really as an extension of my previous film work. Dangerous Loner 2, Alone and Dangerous, Water's Edge, The Beach Razor Nightmare. I mean, come on, that was a classic coming-of-age story. Oh, and Cats. You know, near the end of the run when it was more real. I was set to be a bad guy in a kid's movie about a dog that rides a champion racehorse. Air Biscuit, I think it was. But the guy that plays Zong the Ox Carrier told me BioWare was auditioning. Well, I decided to take the pay cut to broaden my horizons.
Can we get more stuff like this where the actors are just ad-libbing? Because Dawnstar, I didn't know if Robin Atkin Downs was Sagacious Sue. But can we get more like that? Because that was amazing.
You fell from 1,000 feet during the Walk of Death, which alone was odd enough at your age, but you made short work of the Walk of Maiming and the Walk of Intense Discomfort, and tore your head clean off. I comforted you, well, your head, saying that you could just walk it off because, you know, the cut was clean, and then you would punch a mountain in space.
Oh my god! Master Lee had one last thing. I like how at the end there you get a picture of the entire school, including the other playable characters you could have picked. But like that, our time with Jade Empire comes to an end. It's honestly been a great time, and just to finish it out, yes, yeah, by the way, I meant to mention stuff, like every time you get to a new area, wherever your area is, your load screen will be whatever that area is. Like you go from Two Rivers, then you go to TN's Landing, the load screen to TN's Landing, you go to the Imperial Palace, it'll be the Imperial Palace, into the Imperial City. I think the same thing for the not for Lotus Fortress. I think for the thing for a Dirge show, that kind of thing. But it is just nice to think about it and to play this game through again. And yeah, I hope that we see more like this in the coming years, because games nowadays, in my opinion, have become too samey. They either rely on gimmicks, I'm looking at you Nintendo and your Wii, or they rely on a formula. I'm looking at you, every single modern warfare shooter on the planet, even to some extent the recent Halos. So I hope we can go back to when games, when they came out, they felt different, they played different, and they were different. They gave you something to look forward to, something to enjoy, and something to incentivize you to come back to time and time again. But that's all I gotta say for now. I've been Anansi, you've been awesome. This has been Jade Empire, and I will catch you in the next one. Deuces.